What's up guys, my name is AzN3AlK0, and this will be the 6th Exploring the Arsenal Extra with me, AzN3AlK0 and AzN3AlK0, or aka TouhouSniper98. And once again, this will be the XM8 review as requested by one of my subscribers by the name of Zephyr7CAPM. So, if you're out there, Zephyr, listening to this or watching this or whatever, here's your review, man. And make sure you enjoy it, and yeah, here we go. So, the XM8 has a damage of 41, and please keep in mind that throughout this video I'm going to be comparing the XM8 to the G36E very frequently, because both in appearance and in the way that the gun performs, it is very, very similar to the G36. I don't think anyone can deny that. It's got a sniper scope. It's got I mean, even its body frame, even the gun frame looks similar to the G36. So yeah, if you guys hear me like comparing the stats to the G36 a lot, then yeah, that's why. So the damage is 41, down from significantly lower, in fact, than the G36. Which has a 45-point damage. So as you can obviously tell that the XM8 will be a kind of a lower damage but faster firing kind of gun than the G36, which tends to happen in Nexon in combat arms, that certain similar guns can have kind of reversed statistics. So in this case, the XM8 has a lower damage but higher rate of fire, which we'll get into in a bit, and the G36 is a heavier hitting but slower firing gun. Moving on to the portability, it has a very fast portability for an assault rifle at 65. So in comparison with the G36, the G36, my bad, only has a 57 portability. So as you can see, it's very much so faster than the G36, and you can definitely feel it on the XM8. Moving on to his rate of fire. His rate of fire is on par with the M4s at 75. That's a huge improvement, statistically speaking, over the G36's mere 68 rate of fire. But I don't really want to say that Nexon statistics are accurate, especially on the rate of fire category, because the XM8 really doesn't feel like it fires as fast as an M4A1. I'm not too sure if it's just me or it really is that way. Like, you guys can agree that it doesn't fire as fast as an M4A1, but I mean, in my experience, it has never really felt like it fired as fast as an M4A1. Moving on to its accuracy. Its accuracy is pretty close to the G36E's at 88. Once again, considering that the G36 has a accuracy of 90, and the L85A1 mod, which I also have, has an accuracy of 85, and even then it's still very accurate at long range. 88 is very good for an assault rifle. Moving on to its recoil statistic, it has a 68 recoil, which is the same as the G36's. Though I will get into how they're different, how the G36 and the XM8's recoil patterns are different in a bit. So, moving on to its recoil spread. The recoil spread while moving around, the hip fire or the hip spread while moving around is virtually the same as an M4's, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels the same, or the size looks like it's the same as an M4's while just moving around, while the G36 is as large as an AK's. So as you can see, hip fire on the XM8 is very much so better. Just how much better is up to you, controlling the hip fire pattern on it. So yeah. And the recoil kickback, there's not really much kickback to the XM8. You can feel it, I mean, but then when you're just spraying it, it's not as heavy as, like, say, the AKs or something like that. Moving on to its recoil controlability. This XM8, just like the G36 before it, has a very easy recoil pattern to control. While scoping in, if you tap fire with this gun, which by the way, tap firing is very easy on this XM8, the shots, even if you tap fire very fast, the shots will go straight up and down. So just like the G36 for the most part, the recoil controllability is very easy if you know what to do. You don't really necessarily have to burst fire too much because of its hip fire spread, but it's a good idea too if you start spraying down to like the 30s or 40s or 30s or 20s, my bad. If you got an extended mag, that is, and you're just spraying. Moving on to its Tapfire Ability. Once again, I mentioned just now that the Tapfire Ability on the XM8 is excellent. It may be even better than the G36's, but I mean, that's just speculation right there. Moving on to its center speed. What center speed means is how much time or how fast this gun spread from going full auto returns back to normal size. The center speed for the XM8 is moderate, I would say. I haven't really paid attention much because I never really used the XM8 much, even though I have a permanent. Whatever. I haven't really paid attention much to the XM8's center speeds. So I don't know. You may see it in the video that you can see in front of me right now, but I personally feel like it's only moderate. It only returns back to its normal size, like in a moderate sense. But for example, like the FAMAS or the FS2000 series, their spreads return their original size very fast, so their center speeds are very high. So I don't know exactly what the XM8 center speed is, but we'll say that it's moderate for now. Moving on to the, let's see what's next, reload speed. The reload speed, the reload animation rather, is identical to that of, let's see, what gun reloads like the XM8? I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are some guns that reload the same way as the XM8. And yeah. The reload speed is just average, just like the G36's. I think this reload speeds are the same. I don't know. I've never really timed them, but they feel to be the same. Moving on to its fire modes, it only comes with one fire mode, full auto. I mean, you can tap fire with it, so I mean, you could technically say single fire mode is available, but then that's only if you tap fire, obviously. And moving on to its attachment, or not attachment options. That's not far. That's not too far yet. Moving on to its luck. As you can probably tell, I'm not a very lucky person. So with assault rifles, I don't tend to get lottos very often. So I'm gonna say that it has a low luck chance. Yeah, you might as well just go for body shots. Moving on to its ammo capacity, it comes with a standard 30 rounds in magazine and 90 in reserve. Moving on to its key physical characteristics. For this one, I will have to strongly warn you guys that the XM8 takes up a lot of space on your HUD. If you guys don't know what the term HUD is or HUD, the term HUD is basically what the screen that you see on your monitor once you get into a game, like your first-person view. Like you can see your bullet count, your ammunition count, your gun, your surroundings, everything. Like that's not part of the game itself. Like your HP bar, your sprint bar, your perk list, whatever. That is called the HUD, and the XM8 unfortunately takes up a lot of space on your HUD, so it may be distracting for you guys who rely on peripheral vision for your gameplay styles. I know I do, and the XM8 really bothers me because its large size on the screen kind of throws me off because I can't look to the right because of its huge ass scope. So yeah. Also, its scope is pretty unique too, not the reticle, but just the looks of it. And moving on to its muzzle noise, the muzzle noise is very loud and high frequency. So unless you got a silencer on this thing, people are gonna hear you coming. Moving on to its attachments options, you can only attach a silencer or a extended mag on this. As you can see, obviously tell, it's already got an attached sniper scope on it. So I mean, you can't really put any other scopes on it. Moving on to whether or not it's fireteam worthy. I wouldn't say it's fireteam worthy as the G36 because the G36 has a slower rate of fire and a higher damage per bullet, so that means you can take down more zombies with the ammo you have. The XM8 unfortunately only has 41 damage, even though it is higher than a little bit higher than average. I don't think it cuts it for my kind of fireteam play. Moving on to whether or not it's quarantine worthy, I would have to say because of its high portability and high rate of fire, yes, it is quarantine worthy because you can really run away from those zombies if indeed it does have that 75 portability. Moving on to my frank personal opinions. I honestly don't really like the XM8, even though the XM8 is theoretically supposed to be a very good gun, like kind of modeled after the G36, but then having its damage and rate of fire and portability kind of reversed. I really don't like the XM8. The main reason being is that its power at 41 feels a little bit too slow for me. And also, I don't think its rate of fire is 75. I don't think it's that high. I'm gonna be completely honest. It feels more like the rate of fire feels more like an AK-74U. That's just my opinion, though. So, yeah. The XM8. Nexon probably screwed up the rate of fire statistic on the XM8. Either that, or I must not be killing people fast enough, or I might not be killing people the right way. And yeah, that's it for the my frank personal opinions. Oh, also, like I said, mentioned before, the size on your HUD is very, very annoying for me. So sometimes there are games where if I'm doing bad, I just can't stand the HUD on the XM8, so I just swap it out for another gun or something. Moving on to my final rating. Alright, so my final rating, here it is. The long range, I'm gonna have to give it a 90, because even though it does have low damage, its damage drop off is still very good. You can pick off people still with like 5-6 shots if you hit them all on your target at long range. And with its added sniper scope, you can really pick off those targets at long range. And then the 88 accuracy definitely helps too at long range. I keep saying long range. And moving on to its middle range, I'm gonna have to say 85, because its fast rate of fire, if indeed it does have that fast of a rate of fire, combined with its hipfire spread size, that makes it a very good spray weapon. Because it's got a spread of an M4 and then the rate of fire of an M4. So because of its higher damage at 41, whereas the M4A1 only has a damage of 38, you can really theoretically speaking, you can really take down people fast, spraying at middle range. So that's why I give it an 85. I'm just going off its stats here, not by my own bias. Moving on to its close quarters, I kind of went an opposite kind of way here. Moving on to its close quarters, I'm gonna have to give it a 70, because it is very good at close quarters with its high rate of fire and all, but do keep in mind that pretty much any other submachine gun does still outclass the XM8. I would like to say the same holds true for the G36, but I'm gonna I'm gonna withhold my opinion on the G36 for now, because right now is not the episode for G36. So that would have to give us a final rating of the Average 3, which turned out to be 90 plus 85 plus 70, or 3. That gives an 81 2/3% as a final rating. So yeah, guys, hopefully this has helped you determine whether or not the XM8 is worth getting. Once again, I've explained every episode now why my final rating isn't accurate. If you want to know, if you guys don't want to know why, then please watch some of my other videos where I do explain why it is not. I think it is not a completely accurate representation of how good the gun is. So yeah. Yeah, that's about it for the XM8 episode. Once again, if you wanted to know my true opinions on the XM8, please leave a comment below. I'll try and answer your questions. I know I just listed off the statistics right here, instead of actually saying what I feel about this gun. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and have a nice day, guys. Peace.